Every month we choose someone to sit among you and to be a secret shaker. And this month's secret shaker is from Jago Holmes, also a Chamber Young Professionals member and a member of the 2017 Leadership Owensboro class. It's Alex Jago. Where's Alex? Applause for Alex. Alex, who are we going to recognize this morning? Oh, come on up. We have a special gift for you. Chris Luttrell, everybody. We have a special gift bag from our sponsors, Brescia Youth.
Thank you very much.
At this time, we'd like to welcome the folks who are tuning in via radio this morning on WOMI Owensboro. That's 99.1 FM, 1490 AM. And we'd like to recognize our brand new chamber members at this time. And we will begin with Affordable Roofing, career professionals dedicated to providing you with the highest level of customer service and performance. Affordable Roofing offers new roof installation, shingle replacement, leak repairs, metal roofs, gutters and downspouts, siding repair, and more. Affordable Roofing provides 24-hour emergency service and free inspections. So please welcome Mike, David, Jesse, and Shelley from Affordable Roofing. Gardner Engineering and Consulting, PLLC, was founded in January of 2016 following over 21 years of experience with various engineering and architectural firms in central and western Kentucky. GEC is a small-sized consulting engineering firm providing a variety of team-oriented design and consulting services. Their primary engineering focus involves structural engineering, adding experience with geotechnical engineering, civil engineering, building code reviews, and special inspection services, enabling GEC to provide a broad range of design and consulting solutions to our clients. GEC offers highly technical yet practical engineering solutions to the demands of current building codes and construction standards. So please welcome Kelly B. Gardner from Gardner Engineering and Consulting, PLLC. Keller Williams was built by agents for agents. Keller Williams Elite operates on the premise that if the company focuses all of its resources on building its agents' businesses, the agents in turn will build the company beyond all expectations. Keller Williams is a learning-based brokerage and was named the world's #1 training company across all industries by Training Magazine. Our culture is to always do what is right and to treat everyone with respect. Our values are God, family, and then business. Keller Williams' mission is making sure their agents build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, and lives worth living. So please welcome the team from Keller Williams Elite. Lifetime Financial Growth, a privately owned wealth management firm, is located at 427 St. Anne, operates in 5 states with over 270 advisors. They're part of a larger financial network of a Fortune 250 company and are uniquely positioned to offer their clients access to one of the most comprehensive financial platforms available today. Owensboro will be the home base of a vastly growing 5-office operation in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Lifetime Financial Growth has a unique planning perspective. Using a wide-angle approach, their typical clients are able to identify dozens of planning apps, increase their wealth, lower taxes, lower risks without replacing their current relationships, all without increasing out-of-pocket cash flows. So please welcome the Lifetime Financial Growth team. Since 1946, Winter Furniture has been a leading provider of residential furniture, mattresses, and consumer electronics in the Kentucky and southern Indiana area. Winter offers the highest quality merchandise, a vast array of top name brands and styles, and the best value for your money. Winter Furniture is located at 1201 Frederica Street right here in Owensboro, so please welcome Jeremy Young and Robert Caldwell, store manager of Winter Furniture. So welcome to all of our new members, and at this time we would like to recognize our special guests this morning, elected officials who are with us. Kentucky State Representative Tommy Thompson is here today. State Representative Suzanne Miles is with us too. City Commissioner Bob Glenn. County Commissioner Charlie Caslin. County Commissioner George Wathen. Davis County Sheriff Keith Kane. And County Attorney Claude Porter. And I'll give the disclaimer. We looked at and surveyed the crowd. If we missed you, our apologies, but thank you for being with us. All right, at this time, we're going to recognize our Ambassador of the Month. And this month's ambassador from WKU Owensboro is Kevin Dorth. Big round of applause for Kevin. Kevin is getting hooked up with a $50 gift card to Wasabi on Highway 54. Is it too early in the morning to have a bourbon ball? I mean, Adam already had. Oh, if Adam had his, we can have ours, right? At this time, we are going to introduce our breakfast sponsor. So pleased to have the folks from Brescia with us this morning. Big Sea of Blue here to welcome us today, and it's great. So put your hands together and welcome to the podium, Father Larry Hostetter.
I don't think so. Good morning, and thank you. As you might be able to tell, Brescia is the sponsor this morning. We're proud to do so again for this September Rooster Booster Breakfast. I think I was trying to figure out how many years we've been doing this. It's 7 or 8. But before I say anything about Brescia, I want to say how privileged I feel to be part of this community, and especially to be part of a thriving and high-quality higher education community. This region is truly fortunate to have 4 outstanding colleges and universities, and Brescia is proud to be collaboratively associated with Owensboro Community and Technical College, Kentucky Wesleyan College, and Western Kentucky University, Owensboro. The educational quality our college students receive at these institutions is something all of us should be proud of. And it's in that spirit that I'd like to introduce some of our folks from Brescia this morning. We have representatives from our faculty and staff who are here, as well as Board of Trustee members, including our board chair, Kevin Carrico, who's on the dais here with me. If you're a member of our faculty and staff or Board of Trustees, would you please stand? Thank you. You may have noticed there were some of Ursuline's sisters as part of that as well, and I just want to remind everybody that their picnic is the 11th, correct? September the 11th, the last one, so head on out there on that day. It's always a fun event. I'd like to give a special shout out to our advancement team who put all of this together this morning with this sponsorship. Their creativity is limited by only one thing: me. Since I'm known to be a little bit of a stick in the mud. The ideas you see implemented today only scratch the surface of their creativity. You never get to see those things that they come to me with, would you consider doing? And I'm kind of like, no. I'm not doing that. They do a great, great job, though. If you want to see more of their creativity, come on out tomorrow evening for Friday after 5, which Brescia is also sponsoring. The band is called the Naked Karate Girls. I don't really have anything to say. But between that and the O.Z. Tyler Distillery that we're working with this morning, we might see a spike in enrollment again next year. By the way, our advancement team asks that you leave your business card on the table. We're going to have a special drawing later on. They're going to pick those up and have a special drawing. So go ahead and do that now so you don't forget to do that. for a special prize. We also have a small group of our students here today, and I'd like to ask them to stand because that's the reason we're here. Those of them that are here that don't have class this morning. And would all of our former students, our alumni, also please stand and join our current students? Thank you. You can imagine my surprise last Friday when I was looking through the annual almanac of the Chronicle of Higher Education and saw that they had identified Brescia University as the 5th fastest growing Catholic university in the baccalaureate category. I've known we've grown, but I had no way to compare us to other Catholic institutions, so this was really a nice surprise. This 58% growth is due to the hard work of all those associated with Brescia. Faculty, staff, students, alumni, board members, all who live the Brescia Difference every day and work to fulfill our mission. We have a short video that we're going to show you that does a better job than I of highlighting that difference and mission.
If you believe that the best way to lead is by serving others, if you believe that building futures begins with investing in others, if you believe that each and every person has the right to fulfill their God-given potential, if you believe that education is the best way to affect positive change in the life of an individual, if you believe in making a difference, believe in the Brescia Difference. Believe in Barney. We are Brescia University, and we approve this message.
In conclusion, I'd like to introduce again that symbol that you just saw of all that is Brescia. Last year, we announced Barney 2016 to draw attention to Brescia's unique place in higher education. When we asked you to support Barney in 2016, we weren't, of course, asking you to vote for him. After all, he's a blue mythical creature with a short attention span. Instead, we're asking you to support the idea and value of higher education as lived out in the Brescia Difference. And one way you can do that is make sure you take your T-shirts with you, and if you're coming out to Friday after 5 tomorrow evening, wear those. Barney is here, and he's taking a break from the campaign trail to be with us. Barney, would you please come forward? Where is Barney? It's going to take a little while. Oh, Barney, we got other speakers too. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Barney the Bearcat. Thank you.
One more time for Barney the Bearcat. And Father Larry Hostetter, who, by the way, in his defense, he's not that big of a stick in the mud. When I sat down after introducing him, I noticed that his bourbon ball was gone. At this time, with our chamber update, we're going to welcome up our president and CEO, Candace Brake.
Good morning. So today we start off with this great Rooster Booster, and this evening we'll get back together at 4:30 to 6:30 for a business after hours at Tyler Distillery. We want you to come. We're going to have a world-renowned distiller there, Chuck Cowdery, and we're going to do the inaugural signature toast at 5:15. So make sure you come out. It's going to be a great evening. We've been planning it. Pamela and the staff at OZ have been planning it for months. Please come. It's going to be a great evening. The Chamber Works. At your place, you'll find the Chamber Works. It's the 2016 Expo that's presented by the Owensboro Convention Center. We have limited space for booths. We have made different pricing structures so that small businesses can pay more according to what your dues would be. So please check it out and make sure that you buy a booth. You can sell at the works if you want to bring products to sell. You can meet people, and we're going to have it open to the public. But specifically for chamber members, the convention center is going to have 2 free drink tickets. They're going to showcase their spectacular food and hors d'oeuvres. It's going to be a great evening. We have a phenomenal Emcee that's going to be there, Chad Benefield, with bourbon balls, and he's going to be making it a fun night. We're going to have door prizes. It's just going to be a fun night for us all to celebrate that the chamber works. And if you want to sign up today for the booth, the staff will be in the back later to take your name and your reservation, because I think we're already half full, not half empty. So today we proudly announce our 2017 Leadership Owensboro class. And as you know, Leadership Owensboro is a joint venture with the Economic Development Corporation, and we have our partners here today from the EDC, Madison, Joe, and Helen. We want to welcome them here. So when I say your name, if you'd please rise, and then at the end we'll give you a round of applause. And first I want to thank the people who've made the commitment, but also the employers that are allowing their employees away from the workplace to be able to come. This is a very enriching activity. It's been great for the community, and we see a lot of leaders move through there and move on to bigger, brighter things too in the community to give back to the community. So with that, Jeff Barnett from Brescia University, Zara Basham, OCTC, LaDonna Burns, First Security Bank, Chris Caslin, Owensboro Police Department, Laurie Caslin, UniFirst Corporation, Diane Dameron, D'Amron Building Systems, Stacy Davis, Right to Life, Owensboro, John DeLacy, Owensboro High School, Chase Downey, Atmos Energy. Taylor Edge, Ronnie Hancock, CPAs, PSC. Susan Hyde, Chamber of Commerce. Alex Jago, Jago Homes Incorporated. Thomas Johnson, Domtar. Jennifer Keller, Aflac, Keller and Associates. Chris Luttrell, Owensboro Fire Department. Justin Mears, MPD Incorporated. Scott Minch, OMU. Louise Murdoch, Jago Homes Incorporated. Trey Pippin, Davis County High School. Chip Pride, Independence Bank. Waylon Raming, Vectren. Gay Rogers, Hospice of Western Kentucky. Hannah Thurman, WKU Owensboro. Sean Toms, Kentucky Wesleyan College. Jared Zeliak, U.S. Bank. Erica Yartz, Thacker, Hodgkins, Searcy and Knight, LLP. And our Executive Director, Jessica Kirk. Congratulations, 2017 Leadership Owensboro. We look forward to having a great year. It's going to be a wonderful year with you guys. We also have training next week. It's an update on the ACA. There have been a lot of changes and updates, and E.M. Ford and Ronnie Hancock are going to be presenting those updates free to our chamber members. Topics include are going to be the changes to the Fair Labor Standards Act that we've all been talking about recently, and also just other information regarding employer costs on prescription drugs and those kind of things. So call E.M. Ford or the chamber if you would like to reserve a spot. We're just about full, but it is free, and we thank our members for always coming up with new ideas to be able to help out one another to navigate these complex issues that we have before us today. The Chamber Young Professionals, we have a lunch meeting with the candidates for Owensboro City Commission and Owensboro Mayor on Thursday, September the 8th at noon. And then there's a happy hour, not after that, but on September the 15th at the Holiday Inn patio. And thank you to Holiday Inn for always being a great partner for CYP. So those are two things coming up. If you want additional details, you can go on their Facebook page, on our website, or call the chamber. We also have a workforce development strategic visioning report release next week. You might remember the visioning process that we had, kind of patterned after what the state chamber did with the EDC, OCTC, and Western Kentucky University, Owensboro. So we'll be presenting those findings next week, September the 7th at 11:30 a.m. in the chamber lobby. We ask for you to come. We feel like this is a really important time for our employers to get together and work with the organizations that are trying to help you address your workforce needs. We want you to know we've been listening, and we're going to continue this partnership with you. And Business for Backpacks. You may know that CYP has joined up with the Independence Bank Foundation, and the Chamber Young Professionals are working on a backpack campaign to help hungry kids. On weekends, on times when school's out, a lot of children in our community go hungry. So we ask for you, if you're interested in sponsoring a child, there is a table outside where you can sign up. It's $50 for a year to sponsor a child. We have several on the waiting list. We've managed to sign up many since we've started this, but we wanted to open it up to the chamber membership. We know that everyone likes to be able to be a part of something making a difference, and CYP, we appreciate you jumping on with Independence Bank and doing this. In the back, Jessica's there, and I think there's a table with Taylor Edge and a couple of volunteers, Jennifer Keller out front. The new member breakfast is going to be on Friday, September the 9th. We've got a lot of new members coming. If you're here today, and that means we'll see you on September the 9th at 8:30. We have a lot of fun things planned for you, and it's going to be a great time just to find out how you can make the most of your chamber membership. So on Thursday, September the 29th, there's a business after hours at South Central Bank. It's their new location. This has been rescheduled. It was in August, but now it's going to be on September the 29th. It's going to be a great time. The building is fantastic. Come out, look at it, and look at all the new services they have to offer inside that building. It's a brand new banking concept, and we thank the South Central Bank crew for doing this business after hours. It's going to be a great time. Save the date. Red, White, and Blue, presented by AT&T, will be on the Davis County Courthouse lawn on October the 27th. We have a lot of candidates on the ballot this year, so we ask for you to come out to meet and greet. We'll be having legislative forums too later, the week actually before the election, but this will be our first chance to get out and meet and hear what our candidates have to say. So don't miss that. It's part of our advocacy efforts on your behalf. And ribbon cuttings we have today, Winter Furniture at 12:15. We have Friends of the Library, September 7th. Puzzle Pieces, September 16th. Commonwealth Bank and Trust, September 27th. And again, South Central Bank, part of their business after hours will be a ribbon cutting at 5:30. Look inside of your chamber matters this month. There are many renewals. We want to thank you for your continued investment in the chamber, and we ask for each of you to look through that list and thank those people for investing back in you and investing in the community. And John Conti, thank you very much for all that you do for us at Rooster Booster. We need you.
Our guest speaker is very excited to be here today, and we're excited to have him here today. And to introduce him formally, our board chair, Adam Hancock.
Thank you. Good morning. I'd like to thank Father Larry and your team for being our sponsor this morning. We appreciate everything you do for our community. I will say I enjoy him speaking every morning when he comes and sponsors. It's always entertaining and funny, too, so I wouldn't call you a stick in the mud either. It might have been that bourbon ball, though. Earl Hewlette is CEO of Terracentia Corporation and has worked tirelessly the past 2 years to bring O.Z. Tyler Distillery back to life. It's no secret the historic distillery has been around since the 1800s and has been making good Kentucky bourbon for decades. Today we welcome Earl to hear more about the exciting progress that is underway at O.Z. Tyler Distillery. Big, warm Rooster Booster welcome to Earl Hewlette.
See if I can negotiate. Thank you very much, Adam, and good morning. Father, I hope I can help you with your enrollment. At least those of age. And I can't tell you how much it meant to me to learn that you weren't a Baptist institution. But I'd like to start by recognizing my wife, who's here, who supports me. She's a director and a substantial shareholder in our company. And we also have a significant number of shareholders here. They've traveled from long distance, and they're here because they wanted to see the distillery, and we're happy to show it to them as part of our annual meeting, annual shareholders meeting. We're having that after this breakfast. We also have some contractors here with us. One of the nice things about doing this renovation has been working with a lot of local talent. Gerald O'Brien Construction has been doing the main structural work that you'll see from some of the slides in a minute. Norman King Electric, Michael King is here, has been a key contractor for us. We've used Vendome out of Louisville for all of our stainless tanks. Our fermenters are still the important pieces of our business. Vitok Engineering out of Louisville also has done all of our engineering work. Chuck Ward has done our mechanical. He's really from Florida, but he has been resident here long enough to have citizenship, I think. But he's done all of our mechanical piping. And then a lot of other contractors under them. So it's been a pleasure working with them. I also would recognize Jacob Call. Jacob is our master distiller. His father, Ron Call, is also with us. He's our consulting master distiller. And Jacob's grandfather, John Call, is not here this morning. He's 95, but he's in town for the grand opening. And this family is from Bardstown. They have been in the distilling business 3 generations now, so they bring all that history and talent to Owensboro, and we're happy to have them here. What I'd like to do now is maybe take you a little bit down memory lane, because there are many, many of you that have family history at the Medley Distillery. I hear that from people all the time. Well, I remember my uncle or my grandfather used to work there. So in some cases, some people come up and say, I worked there as a kid. So the interest in the distillery has been significant, and it's come to us from all aspects of the community, including all of you. You don't understand probably what it means to a company that has to relocate people into a community to have what you have here, what all of you have created. It's an amazing city, and it makes it very easy to tell somebody that I want you to move to Owensboro. And the other thing is that you have an enormous pool of talented labor here. So those 2 things are critical to a decision to move into a new community, and you've all significantly contributed to that. Also, your economic development folks gave us some incentives that were very gratifying to help us get started here. So all around, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is an older picture, probably in the 50s. You can see the smoke coming out of the coal-fired boilers, and those buildings were built in the 30s, right after Prohibition. There was a distillery on this site in 1885, and there was bourbon distilled there until shortly before Prohibition. That distillery burned, and then this one was built, as I said, in the 30s. Very historic buildings, and now, fortunately, we've been able to bring them back to life with very modern technology. Some of you might recognize one of these cars. I don't know, maybe it belonged to one of your relatives. But it's another picture. You can see the smokestacks. Only half of one of those smokestacks remains today, and that low building is all gone. That was the building that housed the coal-burning boilers. But the other building on the right and the water tank there in the middle, all that's the still house, and it's present, but renovated. You may remember Medley, the Medley Brothers brands. They're still around, and the Medley family has been so welcoming and generous to us. Some of them shared some of these photographs with us. Charles Medley, Dr. Wathen Medley, Bill Medley have all welcomed us, and that's been most appreciated. I was told a story by Dr. Wathen that when in one of the phases of ownership and operation of the distillery, you could tell when they were distilling bourbon, because the stillage, what's left over, the spent grain after you've gotten the alcohol out, the spillage was piped directly into the Ohio River. You can't do that today, unfortunately. But he said you could tell that bourbon was being made because you could look out in the river and there would be this big plume out in the middle of the river, and the fish would just be jumping like crazy. We hear stories and stories and stories, and enjoy every one of them. This is the entry today. It's even a little more cleaned up now, but you see the new sign, the O.Z. Tyler sign. And there's, on the left, you can see the still house, and grain handling was inside, and there's one piece of grain handling there on the left. That's the old facility. On the right is the new grain handling. And you can see it's many millions of dollars of grain handling equipment, and it's outside because you don't want that dust buildup, that grain dust, which is very much an explosion hazard. So we've added all of that. And on the left here, you see the old still, and on the right, the new still. The old still had the capacity to do 30,000 barrels of bourbon a year. The new still can do 75,000 barrels a year, so a significant upgrade. The old still was usable, but its useful life was limited, and we knew that when it came time to replace it, it would cause us to shut down for a significant period of time. These stills are 5 stories tall, and removing one and putting another one in is no easy feat. So while we were renovating everything else, we decided now's the time to go ahead and upgrade the still. You can see the condition of the buildings, since this was the worst, but we had to do a lot of work. This was an old fermentation room that would hold 8 fermentation tanks. Those fermentation tanks actually were old wooden fermentation tanks that are now located at Maker's Mark. They were sold off some time ago. That building has been reconstructed, you can see on the right, and it's ready for us when we're ready to expand our capacity. We will add back 8 more state-of-the-art fermentation tanks in that room. Fermentation tanks we have on the left, you see the tanks that were built by Vendome in the 30s, and they are open tanks. You had to climb down in them to clean them. We had Vendome upgrade them. On the right, you can see they're covered now. They have clean-in-place devices. They have agitation. They have better temperature controls. So thoroughly updated. And the left, you can see the old controls, big analog controls. They really didn't control anything. You controlled everything manually, but this gave you the information you needed to tell you when to open a valve or shut a valve or perform some part of the distilling process. On the right, you know we live in a computer world. So all of those big old analog graphs are no longer used. It's all done by PC. We kept the one bank of older equipment. We try and protect some of the history because we intend to have a museum, and we want, as we give tours, we want people to understand how whiskey used to be made and now how it's made today. You can see the old lab, and you can see the new lab. The new lab is a gas chromatograph machine, which analyzes down to the molecule what's in a whiskey. Now, take a deep breath. When you're feeling blue, just walk into one of our rick houses. I promise you, about 20 minutes of deep breathing exercise right here will make you feel a lot better. We have 6 of these that store 20,000 barrels each, and we can't wait till we have them all full. 9 storage tanks. This is our barrel filling and dumping and our storage area. And then we connect that to our processing area, which is this. where we have 10 of our patented TerraPure machines at work, improving the bourbon we make. People ask about the name change. We are the O.Z. Tyler Distillery, and that's because there was a man whose name was Orville Zelotes Tyler III. Some people called him O.Z. Most people called him Ty. I guess if you had a name like Orville Zelotes, you would get a nickname pretty quickly. I wish you could have known him. He passed away a couple years ago. He was a kind, courtly Southern gentleman. And everybody that knew him loved him. Very, very bright guy. Very, very curious mind. Born in Savannah. Educated at Bowdoin and then in Tulane. He invented things that you have come to use every day in his career. He invented the coating that made it possible to put soft drinks in cans. He invented indoor-outdoor carpet, washable wallpaper, outdoor latex paint, and then he invented the TerraPure process in his retirement. He invented it because in his retirement, Ty enjoyed Scotch whiskey, particularly Macallan 12. And so Ty one day started thinking about Scotch whiskey and asking himself, why do they put it in barrels and put it away for 12 years? Probably to make it better, but why does that make it better? And he enlisted his stepson, Edward Bailey, who's here today. Edward, stand, please. So, Edward is still with our company, thankfully, and he's in charge of our research and development and our machines. And Ty went to Edward, who was an architect, and said, come on, help me with this project. And so they started looking at what happened inside the barrel. What was the barrel doing to make Macallan 12 better? And what they realized was that the barrel, those barrel staves, were acting like a filter as the temperature changed in the warehouse. The barrel staves would absorb and release the whiskey over and over and over again. And it was filtering away some bad things that caused burn and bite, and smoothing the whiskey. The next question a curious mind would ask is, well, where did those things come from? And what they discovered was that those things came from fermentation. So the grain that you fermented to make the whiskey, the yeast converts some of those sugars into ethanol, which is what you drink. But not all those reactions that make the ethanol complete. And it's those incomplete reactions that create the minor alcohols that you know as methanol or propanol or butanol. And these are the bad things. And so Ty and Edward said, well, let's see if we can use chemistry, science, to get rid of those things. And they did, in fact, do that. They invented a technology that would react away or naturally cause those minor alcohol molecules to combine with some acids and become esters or good things. And it was an amazing invention. We've taken that technology and commercialized it. In our company, we began in 2007 into 3 markets, with a 4th about to happening now. But the first market was bulk. This is an ISO tank of 6,000 gallons of bourbon that we ship overseas. This fits on a container ship, that frame around that tank. And the reason that people buy our bourbon overseas is that it's a good value, because we don't have to age it 4 years, as all of the bourbon consumed in the world is aged at least 4 years, because it takes that long for the barrel to naturally filter away enough of those bad things. But the technology that Ty and Edward invented can actually accomplish the same thing in 8 hours. So we age our bourbon 6 months to a year because you want it to be brown, you expect it to be brown, you expect it to have oak flavors, but we don't need to wait that much longer for it to be smooth enough to drink. We can accelerate that maturation process. And so that's led to us creating or having the advantage of a significant export market for our bourbon. The other thing we've done is create products, and by the way, the technology works on neutral spirits as well. It does it a little differently, but it improves all types of consumable alcohol spirits. So we create brands for people that want to have their own brand of a particular spirit and go out and market it. Some of our brand owners are here today. We also create brands for major national retail chains. We actually trademark and create the brand for them, and then we make it, bottle it, and it's sold to them through our distribution system. We have won over 100 medals in, I don't know now, 15 or 16 international taste competitions. These are blind taste competitions. Our products are measured against well-known brands. I was just informed yesterday that at the San Diego Spirits Festival, which was held last weekend, some of our products received 7 medals. So we find this as an affirmation of our technology. Around the world, we can find our spirits in a lot of countries, all those in red here. Of course, the United States, Canada, but Central America, South America, all over Europe, South Africa, India, China, Japan, and we just shipped our first into Russia yesterday. So we continue to open up markets. They continue to embrace our marriage of tradition and technology. And I hope the next time I show you this map, it'll be all red. So we're working hard at that. We actually have our products available here. We have our own brand, sort of our fourth market. Now that we have a distillery, the O.Z. Tyler Distillery has an O.Z. Tyler bourbon. This is not yet bourbon produced here. We made our first bourbon actually Friday and started filling our first barrels. But that bourbon will have to age to the point that we then can use our technology, which should be, I think, a year, 6 months to a year. And then O.Z. Tyler will be Kentucky bourbon made right here. But if you want to see what our technology does, first, you tasted it already if you ate your bourbon ball. And we thank Andrea's for doing those bourbon balls for us. But where our products are available in a number of locations. Here's what it looks like now. We're excited. We're looking forward to having you come visit. We've got a little gift shop. We're going to be doing tours We look forward to one day being the western gateway to the Bourbon Trail. I just can't tell you how much I thank all of you for all you've done to encourage us and help us along the way. So thank you again.
Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You have all kinds of parting gifts from our friends at OZ Tyler Distillery, Brescia University. Have a great September, and we'll see you in October at Rooster Booster. Thanks again.